Alright guys, as I said in the Randy Cunningham Q&A prelude vid, which is still open, you guys can go to the previous video and check that out and ask some Randy Cunningham 9th grade ninja-centric questions over there. And, yeah, so as always, as I like to say, pretty much if I didn't answer someone's question, that usually means YouTube marked it as spam and didn't let me see it, or didn't even show up at all, because YouTube can be a jerk like that sometimes. So anyway, let's kick things off with the first questions coming from un momento here. Mr. Emerald123, who first question is, if you could turn into any Digimon, what would it be? I think if I could turn into any Digimon, it would be Beelzemon from Digimon Season 3. He was such a badass. So, the motorcycle, the wings that could turn into a leather jacket and shit, and the dual pistol, shotgun, double barrel things. That was really badass. So, those. Definitely those. Not those. Why'd I say that? But, so yeah, definitely Beelzemon, just for the guns and shit. Second question is, favorite Digimon fight? Some of my favorite Digimon fights included the fight between Diaboromon and Omnimon in the first Digimon movie. Another one was between Wargreymon and Black Wargreymon, also when Metal Garurumon and Wargreymon took on Myotismon's evolved form. I can't remember what it was. I think it was like Giga Myotismon or something like that. I can't remember that name. But yeah, that was a really cool fight. The final battle between all the Mega Evolve, the final battle with Paimon, I thought that was really cool too. So many good fights, really. There were so many really good fights in that series. There were really a lot of really good fights in those series. So your third question is, what was your reaction when you saw Black Wargreymon during Season 2 of Digimon? I thought he was great. I thought he was Black Wargreymon one of the coolest Digimon characters I've ever seen. I thought he was always such a badass character, just always looking for a fight and, you know, trying to figure out what he is in this world. I thought he was very cool. I thought he was just super cool. So thank you for those questions, Mr. Emerald123. Next question next questions come from Christian Sager. Hope I'm saying that entire name right. I don't know if it's Christian or Kristen. And Sager, I do apologize if I've completely butchered your name. First, oh yeah, I already answered this question. What's your favorite Digimon fight scene? I've already answered this question. Sorry. Second question is, which Digimon would be partners for you and your friends? I don't know about my friends, but I can honestly say I think my ideal Digimon partner would be Tentomon. I think that would be. I just kind of like his attitude, and I think him and Tentomon and I would get along pretty well. So, also having that awesome bug character is also Kabuterimon, and his evolved forms were also super badass. So I think that would be a lot of fun to have Tentomon as my partner. And your third question is, you don't have you don't have to answer this in the Q&A, but I figured it'd be a best place to ask. Are you planning to do any more fan art stories on YouTube? With other YouTubers, I mean. I have, I'd love to, but the thing is that I no longer have, with fan art stories, I may have to just, if I do decide to bring it back, it would have to be solo. And I might as well answer this now, because I know I haven't done fan art stories in, like, months. So I'm just going to answer this now, because not only just you, but a few people have asked me, so I'm just going to bend the rules just this once, just so I can get this out here. I would love to do fan art stories again, but the thing is that if I do decide to do them, I would have to do it solo, because the new computer I'm using doesn't really have a built-in mic, so I can't really do team-up videos. That's why you haven't really seen any team-up videos. I can go on other people's channels and do videos on there, but it can't be the other way around, unfortunately, because all just be me is me talking, it would just be me talking to myself, literally. So yeah, I'm just bending the rules once, because you're not the first one to ask this question, and I might as well just get this answer out there now. So anyway, thank you for those questions. And we're going to move on now to BooRat1, who asks, as a kid or a teen, did you ever draw or try drawing or writing your own Digimon all on your own in a small form? Name escapes me, to its largest mega form. I never was a good artist. I wasn't, you know, I'm no Alex Ross. Hell, I'm not even a Hell, I'm not even a Rob Liefeld. Oh man, I can't draw at all. But I have had a few ideas for Digimon. I've just never really branched them out. So no, I gotta say no, Boo Rat. Your second question is, would you like to see a completely American-made and animated Digimon reboot series, maybe even a CGI animated? I'd say just keep it in Japan. I wouldn't mind an American reboot, but the thing is that I'm kind of afraid that they would kind of butcher it. I mean, yeah, we've seen several animes, like, do you remember the Darkstalkers and Street Fighter shows? Or even the Mortal Kombat, that was already an American-made video game, but you guys remember the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter TV shows? Oh god, they were terrible. But we did get yes out of it. So I would say keep it safe in Japan. Maybe and have it like maybe you can have American animation on it, but I don't know. I'd just say I'm a little too nervous to give that away from the people who own Digimon. Third question. Your third question is, since we had so much fun with the last one, the last one like this, so fuck, marry, kill, Angelomon, Lady Devimon, or Lilymon. So I got the fuck, marry, kill question right here. I think what I would do is, I don't know, because this is a little more tougher. It's a little more tougher. I think I would, man, because Lady Devimon's kind of hot. But I'd kill Lady Devimon, fuck Lilymon, and marry Angelomon. There you go. There you go, Boo Rat. You happy? You had so much fun with the last one. But this was a little more easy. I think this was, well, it was a little more difficult because, well, I win no matter what. So, joke's on you. Third question. Oh wait, I already answered all your questions. So thank you for those questions, Boo Rat. Now moving on to Jesse MB27, who asks, of all the Digimon you know of, which do you think has the weirdest appearance? Which one didn't have the weirdest appearance? Oh man, there were so many Digimon that had so many weird appearances. I think one of the ones that are just kind of really strange was like what were they? The little toad Digimon with the horns on their trumpets wrapped around their necks. There were a few others, but that one comes to mind. I just can't remember their names. I can't really think of their names, but there's so many freaky Digimon to name, and some I can't even remember. So yeah. Your second question is, did you ever find the D-Reaper being scary and/or creepy when you first saw it? Because I never found it to be too particularly terrifying, though I don't think it is interesting nonetheless. As a child, okay. He's basically asking, what did I think the D-Reaper was scary from Digimon Season 3? I'm not going to say creepy per se. Well, it did have a creepy exterior, but I didn't really find it scary. It kind of reminded me a lot of the Dark Gundam stuff. Do you guys remember the Dark Gundam from, I think, Gundam Wing, from like Gundam, no, that was from a different Gundam series, but guys remember the Dark Gundam? It had the same exact story of that thing kind of assimilating all these other Gundams and kind of becoming this living entity, and everyone had to band together to fight it. It had the same thing as the D-Reaper. The D-Reaper more or less copied the Dark Gundam. Man. It even had the whole, the face, it has someone trapped inside of it, and everyone's trying to get in there to get that person. And here it was Jerry, so everyone's trying to get her, and then it creates her face. I can't remember what the Dark Gundam captured, but it did the same thing as the D-Reaper. So I guess you could say the D-Reaper copied Dark Gundam. At least I remember it being called the Dark Gundam. So yeah. Thank you for that question, Jesse. Your final question is, if any live-action Digimon movie was made, who would you want most to direct it? I personally would like to see Guillermo del Toro be director for a hypothetical live-action movie. I personally would not want a live-action Digimon movie because I have a feeling... Because again, what's the current track record for American movies doing adaptations of anime? Not good. I mean, Edge of Tomorrow was technically based off of a manga, and that was the closest we got to a good one. I'm gonna have to say, I would say, but hypothetically, if we had someone, I would have to say, I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have to go with your opinion. I think Del Toro could do something really cool with that kind of story. Anywho, so thank you for those questions, Jesse MB3. Next comes David Mayhew, whose first question is, who is your favorite Digimon protagonist? If we're going by Digimon, it would have to be... You can't beat the classics. You can't beat Agumon or, Gabumon or the few other original Digimon. If you want to go by human characters, you can't beat Tai. You cannot... No one beats Tai, although Takato comes in close second for me. Yeah, Takato comes in close... Davis comes in third place. I think I like Takato more than... I think I love Takato more than Davis is because Takato was very level-headed despite being... it's literally, he's a fan of Digimon, but now Digimon are real about it, and he was very calm about everything. He made himself pretty much the defunct 2 leader through trial and error, whereas Davis made a lot of errors, didn't really suffer for them, and it was more like and Tai was giving him, the training, whereas that was from Season 4, Takato had to learn on his own. Takato literally had to learn on his own and be the leader, so Takato would be second, but Tai's going to be on first place because he was the original, the OG leader. But in terms of protagonist Digimon, you can't beat the original lineup. Again, my boy Tentomon. So thank you. Oh wait, you still got 2 more questions. I almost skipped you. Oh my God. Sorry, David Mayhew. Second question is: do you think Pokemon and Digimon are similar? Yeah, they're pretty kind of similar. Pokemon and Digimon are pretty similar, but there are a lot of differences. Obviously, Digimon deals with a parallel universe made from literal digital data, whereas Pokemon's a complete ecosystem and a complete way of life, and the digital world's kind of kept in secret, and the Digimon can evolve and go back. They use it like power-ups, whereas the Pokemon, they evolve and stay evolved. But yeah, you can clearly see there are a lot of... I mean, hell, Mon is in both words, so Digimon and Pokemon, yeah, I'm not going to argue that. But I think Digimon's original enough where you could say, yeah, they took off and did their own thing. Your third question is, who would win? Ash with Charizard, Infernape, Pikachu, Sceptile, Snorlax, and Shiny Noctowl versus Tai and Greymon in his final form. Oh, War Greymon then. I'm going to give it to War Greymon because nothing can beat the Terra Force. That thing's the goddamn Spirit Bomb, but made of fire and death. And it's awesome. So, I'm sorry, as much as I am a Pokemon fan, I'm a fan of Pokemon, I'm sorry, I can't really see all of those Pokemon, even together, fight, beating War Greymon. I mean, they'll do some good hits, but I think it's going to be War Greymon. So yeah, thank you for those questions. And again, I almost skipped you. I'm really sorry about that. The rest of your questions. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. So thank you for those questions, David Mayhew. Next comes MSW Dark Angel 9889. And first question is, which Digimon deaths did you find to be the saddest, most shocking moments? I think one of the saddest deaths was the death of Leomon in Season 3, when Beelzemon straight up killed him. That was really sad. Another one that really got to me were the deaths from Piximon, Whalemon, and there are a few Digimon deaths in the final season of Series 1 where, man, even Mimi put up these crosses for all their dead friends. Man, it was just depressing. Oh my God, that was that was so sad, got you right in the feels, little Piximon who trained them, Whalemon who took them from island to island in his mouth. Man, it was so depressing that the Dark Masters were just straight wiping out all of their friends. Oh my God, and then, like I said, the Leomon death in Season 3, in Series 3 was really depressing. There are a lot, man. Those are a few that come to mind. Your second question is, out of the Dark Masters, which was your favorite and which was your least favorite? I think my favorite, and I think design-wise, if we want to go, I think Machine Dramon was my favorite of the Dark Masters because he just looked so frickin' badass, but he only had 2 or 3 episodes to himself. I think my least favorite was Puppetmon. And the reason why is because they drug out Puppetmon to no goddamn end. He had 7, 8 episodes to him? They drug him out, and I got so tired of Puppetmon. But I think my favorite of them, Like, again, design-wise was Machinedramon, but he got the least to him, and Puppetmon was just, god damn it, I wanted to see him go. Paimon was cool, Metal Seedramon was also really cool, but he didn't really have a lot of screen time either. I'm gonna have to say, like, again, Machinedramon, I just wish they did more with Machinedramon, maybe because he just looks so fucking scary. But I think if you want to go, I think Paimon would be, I guess, the definite favorite. Because they gave him enough screen time, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I liked all of them. Well, actually, no, my least favorite was, again, Puppetmon. Because, again, he was just... I know he was, like, he was, like, pretty much the master manipulator, but he got borderline boring at some points, you know? If anyone out there likes Puppetmon, that's totally fine. I didn't. No ill will against you, I just didn't care for that little prick. Anyway, so moving on to the next set of questions, coming from Jerkwater100, and the next set of his first question is, what would the Doctor think of the digital world? I think it would be a lot of fun because the Doctor doesn't really like technology to begin with. He likes his own tech. Remember, he doesn't care about Twitter at all. So, especially if this is Peter Capaldi's Doctor, if he's going to come waltzing into the digital world, he's going to be like an entire world made of the internet. Great. I think that would be a lot of fun, but I think he would be intrigued nonetheless of seeing a literal world made of literal data. I think he would be intrigued nonetheless of at least being curious enough to check out what it all means. So that's how I see it. Second question: have you heard of the Digimon 15th anniversary project? No, I have not, but I'm definitely going to check this out once I'm done with this Q&A. I need to do that. I've actually heard a few things, but I don't really know what it's about, really. So I'm going to check that out soon. And your third question is, in your own opinion, who is the most powerful Digimon villain? You gotta give it to Apocalypmon. Apocalypmon was really powerful. The D-Reaper was pretty powerful. Those two come to mind. And also, Lucemon. Lucemon from Season 4. He was terrifying. Yeah, he was pretty much the devil. He was pretty much Satan incarnate in digital form. So Lucemon was another one. Cherubimon was another one. But Cherubimon was more like a puppet when you think about it. Anywho. So, yeah, I think those are just a few powerful Digimon villains in my opinion. So anyway, let's move on to the next set of questions. Alright, moving on to the next set of questions. Next set come from Grimlock1992, who asks, if you could make a live-action Digimon movie or TV series, how would you do it? You see, I don't think Digimon should be done live-action, because that would be a lot of CGI and a lot of motion capture, probably. The budget would be too big for movie, and movie-wise, I don't think you could do the entire series in one. This is why I have a lot of problem with when movies try to adapt an entire season of a show or series of a show. Looking at you, M. Night, and a few other people, Dragon Ball Evolution included. So, if it was done as had to be done by a live action show, I would make it a bit like Series 3. I would make it, a lot like Series 3 and maybe not so much that there was people like play Digimon and all that. Like maybe people are trying to hide the digital world and shit like that. And we have the characters like Tai and a few others. Basically make it like Series 1, if Series 1 was like Series 3 is what I'm trying to say. Anywho. So your second question is, what is your thoughts if the Stormhawks characters had Digimon partners? If so, who would get Digimon? Who would get what Digimon? I don't really know. I think, for Finn, I'm going to say for Finn, maybe, I don't know for Finn, but for Arrow, definitely Agumon. Yeah, Agumon. Piper would get Hawkmon. Junko, Armadillomon. I'm going to say for Finn, getting back to him, I'm going to say maybe Gabumon, Stork, Tentomon, because Tentomon was just that neurotic as well. So there you go. There's the Stormhawks cast right there, with Digimon. Anywho, so your third question is part of my second question is if you could have you seen the crossover fanfic Digital Storm? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that this is a Digimon Stormhawks crossover. No, I have not read it or heard of it just till now, but after this Q&A, I'm going to go check it out. So thank you for alerting me of this, if that's the case. So, yeah, I've just now heard of this. So, yeah. Thank you for those questions, Grimlock1992. I'm going to move on now to Travis Rendon, who asks, have you seen the Nostalgia Critic review of Digimon the movie? I have not. I've seen his review of Pokemon the first movie, but I haven't seen of Digimon the first movie. I have not seen his review of that yet. So yeah. Your second question is, if you had to choose to either live in the Pokemon universe, the Digimon universe, which one would you pick and why? I think because everything in the Digimon universe wants to kill you. Like 95% of the digital world wants to kill you. I think I'd be better off in the Pokemon universe because you could interact with other people and hang out with and Pokemon have their own like preserves and shit like that. So I feel safer in the Pokemon universe. And your third question is, what's your most tear-jerking moment or funniest moment in any season? I'm gonna have to for this one. I'm gonna have to say, since I've already done saddest moments, I'm gonna answer the other part. Like, what's the funniest moment for Digimon? I think one moment comes to mind. Like it was during series 2, where the Digimon were leaking into the real world again, and it was the holidays, and Davis and the other Digidestined like Kari and TK and a few others are gathered around playing a card game, and they're done. And TK, I think it was TK who asks, "So what game do you guys want to play now?" And then Davis says, "I've got one. It's called Strip." And then one of the parents walk in. So I was like, "Oh my god!" Even as a young kid or as a young teen, I was like, "Oh my god!" They nearly got away with a strip poker joke. That one made me laugh out loud. So that's one that comes to mind right there. So thank you for those questions, Travis Rendon. Next questions come from ActionFan19, and first question is: do you think the Dark Masters are hardcore villains? I like to think so. They wiped out a lot of friends in the digital world, as well as caused a lot of havoc in the digital world. But yeah, Apocalypmon was the more dangerous one, but these guys were pretty hardcore as well. So your second question is, who's your favorite legendary warrior of Digimon Frontier? That's a tough one. They were all really cool. I'm going to have to say maybe Koji. Koji was my favorite right there. I really like Koji's story for the most part, and I love the wolf armor kind of design to it when he went legendary warrior. I think that was really cool. So thank you for that question. ActionFan19. Your final question is, which voice actor or actress from any of the seasons would you want to meet in the most? I think the voice actor who played Tai, I think would be really cool. I think I'd really like to meet him. The voice actor for Joey from Series 1. Also, I'd like to meet the voice actor for Davis, as well as the voice actress for both Mimi and Sora. Those would be really cool too. Just to name a few right there. So yeah, thank you for those questions, ActionFan19. Gonna move on now to OverNerd03. First question is, in 2015, Digimon Adventure is getting a sequel focusing on the original cast. What do you hope to see, and who do you want to return? Okay, this is really cool. I think what I'd like to see is, I guess this is the Digimon 15th anniversary. An early question was, ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I just had something just got caught in my throat. So yeah, I think this is the 15th anniversary. So, but now that it's a little more explained, I guess I can answer it. I think I think what's really going to be cool is to see all those characters come back. I obviously want to see Tai come back. I want to see Sora. I want to see them all come back. Really, that's what I want to see is the original cast come back. Maybe I guess they're going to be grown-ups by now. I think that'd be a lot of fun to see them now, like young adults, maybe their own families. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, just I want the whole cast back, and it's going to be reunited, and it's going to feel so good. Second question, I've already answered this. Which Digimon would you pick as your partner? I've already answered this question. The third question is, if Death Battle set up a Digimon in a Death Battle match, who would you pick as the opponent? Okay, if it was a Digimon, my pick for a Digimon would be either War Greymon, Black War Greymon. Yeah, definitely one of those two, or Beelzemon. I think those would be the three picks they would go for. I'd be surprised if they went for anyone else. But I think for opponent, Black War Greymon versus Black Adam. There you go. Two anti-heroes going head-to-head with enormous power. So yeah, Black Adam versus Black War Greymon. That would be the Digimon death battle I would really like to see. Anywho, so thank you for those questions over Nerdo3. Next question is... next set of questions come from Matt Bennett, who asks, which would you say is your favorite arc from each of the 4 Digimon series you've seen? For Series 1, the Myotismon story arc, that was a lot of fun, because you had the first time Digimon crossing over into the real world, and we found out who the next Digidestin was, which was, of course, Kari. You could see it a mile away, but it was a lot of fun. Also, you had the death of Wizardmon. Oh, that was another one I should have mentioned as sad as... How did I forget the death of Wizardmon? That was another really sad one, of the death of Wizardmon. That was another really sad one. How did I forget the death of Wizardmon? Oh my god. I am really ashamed of myself, but yeah, that was another epic death and another epic story. It was a little drawn out, but at least it had a pace to it. It's not like with Puppetmon, where it was just like, okay, you've got all these machinations going on, shut up and do them, rather than, play with all this stuff. Where you had Myotismon, who had like a set plan, and his plan was very, it was simple and yet complex at the same time, if that makes any sense. For Series 2, I think the Digimon Emperor Saga, which is again Ken becoming Ken as the Digimon Emperor, and the whole story arc of that was really cool. And him eventually finding his redemption. I really like that story arc as well. So yeah, from Series 3, definitely the D-Reaper Saga was really cool. Also like the story arc of them battling all the Digimon based off of the Zodiac. That was really awesome as well. For Series 4, their battle with Cherubimon, and then their final battle with Lucemon. Trying to think if there's any others, but yeah, those are to name a few. So your second question is, if you were forced to hang out with any of these characters for one day, Demi, Devimon, Joe, or Mimi, who would it be and why? If it was like older Mimi, like adult Mimi, my pick would be Mimi, so I could, do stuff. Don't judge me, you'd say the same damn thing. But realistically, I think it would be cool to... Demi Devimon would be the one I would be like, no, fuck you. I think it would be either Joe or Mimi. Joe I could just hang out with and just... talk shit with, or poke fun at, or, beat him up when I'm angry. With Mimi, I could... Never mind. Shut up. You're all thinking it too. Anyway. Your third question is, if you could change anything about the second series, be it characters, plot, or something else, what would you change? I really wouldn't change anything. Series 2 was pretty good. I did have a few grievances, but it was not... Well, actually, no. I think what I would like to do is make Davis a little more competent of a leader, a little less arrogant, and a little more competent. I mean, Ty had that too, but he learned really quick, hey, that's not how you run a team. With Davis, it was very much trial and error, and then error again. So that's what I'd like to do, is maybe make Davis a little more competent as a leader. So that's about the only thing I'd really change, really. Anywho, next set of questions come from Matt Kaiser08, who asks, if you had a chance to do a Pokemon versus Digimon fight, which top 10 champion Digimon would you pick against top 10 Pokemon would you pick, and why? So 10 champion level Digimon versus 10 Pokemon. So I guess Greymon versus Charizard, Kabuterimon versus fuck, I don't know. I don't know, there's so many options to pick from. That's the problem. I really cannot answer that, because there's, again, so many choices to make from that, from those from those choices. So yeah, I really can't say, but definitely Charizard and Greymon fight. There you go. There'd be one right there, or maybe I can't. Actually, no, I can't think of another one. Second question is, which Digimon would you compare with the Teen Titans, Robin, Starfire, Raven, Cyborg, Beast Boy, and Terra, and the TMT, and the 2012 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April, Casey, Karai, and Splinter? Man, that's a tough one. I don't know, actually. I don't know. If I was like to give them partners, I really don't know, really. For Mikey, I guess I could say, like, for Mikey, Gomamon for Mikey. Mikey would have Gomamon. Both those two would have a lot of fun together. April with Beelmon, or April and Renamon. Yeah, April and Renamon would be fucking badass. Terriermon, yeah, Donnie and Terriermon. There you go, Donnie and Terriermon. Impmon and Karai. Yeah, Impmon and Karai would be a good matchup. I really don't know for the others. I really don't know for the Teen Titans either, but those would be a few picks for the Ninja Turtles side, so I'm really sorry I can't answer that. I can't really think of anything right now. I'm drawing blanks here, but I hope I got enough right there. So, yeah. Anyway, your third question is, who were your least favorite Digimon? I think my least favorite Digimon were those two little assholes from Series 4. I can't even remember their names, they were so annoying. They were just there for comic relief and that was it. They just stuck around, and I was like, God damn it, I want you to go away. That was really the only reason. I just did not care about them. I really did not. So, those two annoying Digimon that followed around the rest of the human characters all the goddamn time. So, yeah, there's my pick right there. Can't remember their damn names. I hate them so much. So, next set of questions come from Mitch Meister. Sorry, I had to get some water. Like I said, these Q&As do tend to run a while. And his first question is, with both Digimon and Pokemon series both having established large fan bases, as well as sort of rivalry, in your opinion, does one series, like Pokemon, and as the other Digimon, does not have that mistake or likable fans, vice versa? Everyone has those likable and unlikable fans. That's the sad truth. Everyone from Dragon Ball Z to My Little Pony to, Transformers and Power Rangers, there's always going to be those people who are going to start trouble, no matter in what fan base. But for the most part, Digimon and Pokemon, they do have a rivalry, but I think the rivalry's gone under the bridge, because I think the sad part of it is that Pokemon and Digimon don't have the bigger fan bases they did in the 90s. That's when, the rivalry really was out there. It was like the Jets and the Sharks out there. But now, since the shows have kind of gone their ways, the rivalry's still there, but it's not as frequent. At least that's my opinion on the whole thing. That's what I think. I am no way a social commentary, so there is no way my words have any meaning. Anyway, so your second question is, what was your favorite episode from the first 4 seasons of Digimon? I think my favorite episodes were, I think some of my favorite episodes were the ones in Series 1 where when they were in the human world and and everyone was trying to fix their human problems. I think one of my favorite moments was when, Izzy talks to his parents, who we know are adopted, and he's known this for a long time. And he finally confronts them about him, and it's the most saddest thing, and yet you're so happy for him. I love that little scene when he still does, even though he's adopted and he's known this for a long time, he's pretty much still loves these people have taken him in since he was a child, since he was a baby, and cared for him. So I really do like that. That was one of my favorite scenes. And also the whole story around Izzy and Tentomon kind of dealing with that problem and kind of, paralleling that with the mission they were going on. I really do like that. I also like the episode with Skull Greymon, where Atai's anger and jealousy just kind of culminates into making Agumon into Skull Greymon, and the after effects of that. I really do enjoy that. So thank you for that question. Your final question is: do you think it would have been cool if the Devas from Season 3 were the antagonists for the Digidestin in Season 1 and 2? Oh yeah, the Devas. They would be really cool. I think that would be that would be very interesting to see that kind of antagonist in the series for Series 1 and 2. That would be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of stuff you could play with that, in my opinion. So thank you for those questions, Mitch Meister. Moving on now to Andre Partridge, whose first question is: as a kid growing up on Pokemon and Digimon, which series did you like better overall? Ah, man. I was a Pokemon fan, but I'm sorry, guys. I like Digimon. I really do like Digimon a bit more. I have nothing against Pokemon. I'm not saying Pokemon sucks, but I grew more into Digimon because I felt like the characters were a little more fleshed out, and maybe because there was a lot more cooler monster fights in there, and the stakes felt a little higher. You know what I mean? It's not like with Pokemon where they faint and you rarely see deaths, if at all. In Digimon, I felt like the stakes were a little bit higher, and they weren't talking down to kids as much as it was a kid's show. And as a kid, I still kind of grasped that. So I think I consider myself more of a Digimon fan than a Pokemon fan. But don't get me wrong, guys. I do really like Pokemon a lot as well. But yeah, as a kid growing up, Digimon became my shit for a while. Excuse me. So, second question is: which Digimon series was your absolute favorite out of the franchise? Oh, that's really tough. Because again, I've kind of dropped out of Digimon because the other series weren't really good. So seasons 1 through 4 were my shit, and they were all good in their own ways. You could say they were all good in their own ways, but the problem is that they each had their own faults. But if you were to ask me what was my favorite Digimon series that I could pop in right now, it would be yeah, I think, honest to God, it would be Series 1. Yeah, Season 1. That was the OG Digimon stuff. That was the stuff that, you know, really it really hit home a lot of, you know, again, it was the OG shit. And I'm really sorry I stumbled through my words. It's really late, and I'm kind of, it's not late, I'm just tired. So I apologize for that. Anyway, so that's kind of the thing, is that I would just pop in Digimon Series 1 right now. And probably in close second, Digimon Tamers, you know, Series 3, because that had a lot of the elements of Series 1, and it took them to the next level. So yeah, and again, I'm sorry for stumbling through my words. I'm just, my brain is frying right now. I'm just worn out, guys. I'm really sorry. Anyway, so your third question is, what is your all-time favorite Digimon villain? My favorite Digimon villain would have to be Myotismon. Myotismon on the grounds of, this guy had a plan, he knew what he was doing, but his own arrogance became the downfall of him. But even then he had a backup plan, so that was kind of badass. But I did like how he invaded the real world and nearly won. He damn nearly won, guys, let's face it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for those questions, Andre Partridge. And next set of questions come from the Spawn 117, who asks, what do you think of a Tron Digimon crossover? That'd be really cool. Like, maybe you could have the digital world kind of accidentally stumble into the Tron universe, and they're kind of crossing into one another. They're kind of breaking into one another, and both sides of the universe don't really like this. Because, you know, the Tron universe is all about symmetry and control. The digital universe is a pile of everything else. So that would be really interesting to see those two universes coalesce. Also, seeing Digidestin in Tron costumes. Fuck yes. So that's just a little bit of my thought. So your second question is, what would happen if the Necronomicon was in the Digimon universe? What would happen if the Necronomicon was in the digital universe? I really don't think anything could happen because they're made of data. Data, I don't really think they're really not really anything real. I mean, they are real creatures, but at the same time, I don't really think something supernatural could affect them, really. But then again, this isn't really... yeah, the science is totally sound, as my good friend Zazubar would say. So anyway, I don't know, really. It would be interesting to see if they could actually work on people. What would happen if the Marvel zombies invaded the world of Digimon? They couldn't eat anything, because again, it's data. They can't really eat the Digimon because they're made of data. They would just be like, oh, like Zombie Hulk would be eating one person and be like, oh, can't eat people, little lizard man, not taste good at all. He tastes like barcodes. Anyway, so that's what I think. So thank you for those questions, the Spawn 117. Next questions come from Major Badass. Major Badass asks, first question, what type of Digidestin would you want to be? The classic from Series 1, with the Digivice, Series 2, or Series 3 or 4. I think if I was to be a Digidestin, I'd have to go OG again. Got the digital, you got, the Digivice, the Digimon right there, and you're gonna rock some shit. You're gonna rock your shit out and watch your Digimon kick some ass. That's what I think. So yeah, going OG because it was simple. You didn't need the armors. Back in my day, Digimon didn't need armor or power cores. They just needed a Digivice to Digivolve. Oh, I'm having too much fun. Your second question is, did you feel Pokemon ripped off Digimon with the whole Mega Evolutions? I think with Mega Pokemon has been kind of fast and loose with evolution for a while. They've been kind of, yeah, again, like I said, Pokemon's been kind of fast and loose with the whole evolutions. We all kind of figured the next thing they were going to do was Mega Evolutions. Next you'll get Super Mega Evolutions with Super Mega Force evolutions and crazy shit like that, I don't know. So I'm going to say maybe. That's my safe bet, maybe. If you could, and your third question is, if you could design your own Digimon partner, I've already answered this question, unfortunately, yeah, so sorry, Major Badass, but I've already answered that question earlier. Actually, no, I didn't. Yeah, if I could design my own partner. Actually, yeah, no, I didn't. I think mine would be an animal. Yeah, animal themed. Maybe actually like a mythical creature, like maybe a chimera. Yeah, Chimeramon. There you go, Chimeramon. Yeah, so there you go. So thank you for those questions, Major Badass. So next question comes from Robert Larson. If you were Digidestin, who would be your Digimon, and what would his or her I already answered this question. Sorry, dude. I've already answered this question. Actually, Major Badass kind of answered this question, asked this question, kind of. So, really sorry, Robert Larson, but I've already answered this question. So, I'm going to move on now to Jake Burns. Digimon versus Pokemon versus Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters. Who would win? Duel Masters wins. Nah, I'm just kidding. Does anyone remember Duel Masters? I barely remember Duel Masters. All I remembered was that it had the guy from the guy who voiced Ty in there, and it broke the fourth wall a lot of times. So, yeah. I'm gonna have to say, like, I don't know if like all-out Pokemon and well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters are just holograms, really. I mean, they didn't use real monsters until later, much later. So yeah, they were mostly just hologram monsters. Who would win? Maybe not Pokemon, not Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, not Yu-Gi-Oh! So just come down to a Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon and Digimon fight, and while all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters are looking around like, we can't hit anything, man! We're just holograms, man! What, Celtic Guardians in the background having a breakdown, and Dark Magician's like slapping at him and shit, and he's like, we can't hit anything, Sarge! Don't you give me that shit, Private! I don't know why they're talking like characters from Apocalypse Now. Just go with it. Yeah. So, in answer your question, I don't know, Jake Burns. Or Jack Burns. Ah, Jack Burns. Why did I say Jake? I mean Jack Burns. Sorry, I apologize. It's Jack Burns. My bad. Anyway. Sorry, again, Jack Burns, but I don't know. So, next set of questions come from Linerman. Yeah, the next set of questions come from Linerman 023. Okay, sorry. Next set of questions come from Linerman 0245, who asks, how would you feel if Digimon crossed over with Godzilla? I think it'd be really cool, because again, you got some really big... Well, here's the thing, there weren't really a lot of huge Digimon. Well, actually, no, D-Reaper is pretty fucking big, so that'd be kind of cool of seeing, you know, some of the... Actually, no, it would be really cool is, like, during the Myotismon story, Godzilla starts attacking Japan, and you have War Greymon and Metal Garurumon fight Godzilla, or all the ultimate level Digimon fighting Godzilla. He's just like, fuck you, I'm the king! That's a little bit right there. So your next question is, if you had to pick a Digimon or any partner from series 1 through 4 to be your roommate, to pick any Digimon, who would it be and why? So if I had a roommate with a Digimon, again, I think it would be, well, Goblimon would be kind of get it on my nerves. Yeah, you have to go with Tentomon again. Maybe Tentomon. Feel like I could hang with him. Or Terriermon. Yeah, Terriermon's another one. Terriermon or Tentomon, there you go. If you were picked to write the next Digimon series, what would your plot, cast, and setting of Digimon designs be like? Alright, oh man. I think what I would like to do, if I could do a Digimon series, is maybe go back to formula a bit. Maybe have a group of kids in the digital world, and have it so... But however, I would kind of have it that maybe... I don't know, like, this would be tough, but definitely go back to formula, maybe. That's something right there, is maybe go back to formula a bit in that story, but at the same time kind of take elements of Series 3 as well, like the whole secret organization trying to keep the digital world from being known and stuff like that. So that's what I think, mostly. I would give a more description, but I don't know. Again, my brain is kind of like on overdrive trying to answer all these questions. So, but yeah, like I said, try to do like more or less make a mixture of season 1 and 3. That's what I would like to do. As for plot and cast, I don't know. Maybe make them a little older, not so much kids, but maybe young adults. That's maybe a change up right there. So next question comes from Green Arrow Hunter, who asks, favorite Digimon theme song? Woo! I like Season 4's. I think my favorite is, again, you gotta go OG. You can't, once you hear the Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions, that's gonna be stuck in your head all fucking week, isn't it? And you can't help but, listen to that song over and over again. Series 3 had a cool mix, too. But Series 1, yeah. Also, the whole thing with Series 3. Another thing with Series 3 would be, I think another thing with Series 1, excuse me, was that those were a lot of badass songs too. They had a lot of great songs, like "You Run Around, I Run Around." That was really cool. I've always wanted to see that, the song "You Run Around." It's called "Run Around" as a Flash music video. Like someone doing that with like scenes from like the Flash CW show or something like that. Get on that hellish smile. That's your next task right there. Do it, do it. With I want to see like a Flash music video with the song "Run Around." No, I don't think anyone's done that. Maybe they haven't. I just haven't looked hard enough on YouTube. I don't know. Of all the 4, I've already answered this one. Of all the versions of the Digiworld, of all the versions of the digital world from different series, which one was your favorite? Well, they were all kind of same. It was just different parts of the world. I think that, yeah, so, yeah, they are kind of all of the same world in one way or another. But I think if you were to ask me, I think Series 3 had the most well-designed world, because that was when the digital world was, like, kind of fully realized in a way. What Digimon emblem do you think fits better for your personality? What Digimon emblem? I don't know, really. I really don't know. Maybe creativity? There's one. I'm gonna go with that one. Creativity. Thank those questions, Green Arrow Hunter. Next set of questions come from Omnitron12345. First question is, do you think the Digimon Frontier formula, kids turning into actual Digimon, should have kept going? I like to think so, because again, that series of Digimon felt more like Power Ranger. It had a Power Rangers feel to it. It was a bunch of teenagers with attitude that are given great power to become great warriors and stuff like that. So I think that'd be kind of cool to have that kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? And I kind of wish they did keep that going, because again, that was, you first saw it in Series 3 of the people merging with the kids merging with their Digimon to get their Mega levels. But then Series 4 was like, let's make them the Digimon. Yeah. So maybe you could have done that element for one more season. Or make it better, or maybe you could have it as, you could take the element of them becoming Digimon, but they needed to have a Digimon with them. Like, I think Digimon Fusion's doing that. I could be wrong, though. I haven't watched Digimon Fusion. Second question. Do you think Digimon is more of a universal concept than Pokemon, since there's more, there's an actual other world, yet... let me try to reread this. Do you think Digimon is a more universal concept than Pokemon, since it's an actual other world, yet man-made in a sense, an origin from them? Yeah, I think so. I think it has a little more universal concept because it is a parallel universe from the real world that was really created by the world by accident. Yeah, it wasn't really made... Yeah, the digital world wasn't necessarily made on purpose. It just kind of happened, and everyone was like, uh-oh, we made that. So yeah, you could say that in one way. And your third question is, if you could turn any anime character into a Digimon, who would it be, and how would their overall look and powers change? This wasn't really an anime. If you guys know Code Lyoko, I did have an idea of making, doing a story of a Code Lyoko Digimon crossover where Xana merges with Diaboromon's body and becomes Xanamon, and Jeremy, towards the end of the story, would find a way to merge data from the digital world and give it to Aelita, Yumi, Ulrich, and Odd. And Odd would become Chimeramon, Ulrich becomes Bushidomon, Yumi becomes Geisha Woman, and Aelita becomes Metal Angel Woman. And I think, like, design-wise, Angel Woman had, like, the full metal armor with these big angel wings. Geisha Woman had these, like, the Yumi's geisha clothes, but more traditional Japanese sense with a geisha mask on. And Bushidomon had the big samurai armor. And Chimeramon had the huge cat-like form, but with, like, a snake tail. The goat head wasn't there. It had goat horns and a lion head. That's how I kind of envisioned it. So yeah, not really exactly anime, but close enough, right? So thank you for those questions, Omnitron. Next set of questions come from Burnouter7, who I kind of answered this question by accident, really. But yeah, I already said before, his question is, what would happen if Xana invaded the Digimon world? How would the heroes stop her? Well, I always thought of him as a human being, but again, the idea was that well, he didn't really invade the digital world. He just kind of found Diaboromon, the remaining residual data from Diaboromon, and merged with it to become Xanamon. And he wasn't going to find his way into the digital world. He's going to try to break into the real world. But if he did come into the digital world, I think that would be very terrifying. Because again, he can corrupt and control data. Everything's made of data. He could literally merge himself with the planet, the digital world itself, and become the alpha and omega of the digital world. That's a terrifying thought. So yeah, I did get to technically answer it, so I don't know how you'd be stopped, really. But yeah. Second question, which Digidestined team would you like to meet and hang out with? Again, I think it'd be cool to meet Series 1, maybe hang out with Series 2 as well. That'd be a lot of fun as well, hanging out with the Digidestined from the first 2 series. I feel like I could get along with a few characters. And your third question is, what would happen if Dipper, Mabel, and Wendy got to be Digidestined? Oh, Mabel would have a lot of fun. Dipper would be like, oh, how does this thing work? And Wendy'd be like, cool. For Digimon, what Digimon could I see them with? For Dipper, Gardramon. Yeah, Dipper would get Gardramon. Wendy, I think, could see her with Hawkmon. Or better yet, Palmon. Yeah, Palmon would be hers. And for Mabel, Mabel would get Palmon, and Wendy can get Biomon. Yeah, there you go. And for extra bonus, Seuss can have Armadillomon. There you go. So, thank you for that question, Burnouter7. Next set of questions come from King Nazaru, who asks, would you think it was cool to see demon Digimon like Lady Devimon and Lilithmon being good and having Digimon tamers? Yeah, we kind of got that with Beelzemon. He was kind of a demonic Digimon, and he turned good. Vmon, when he went back to being Vmon and the twins took care of him, he got his own tamer, but the other ones, those guys are kind of too far gone to be good guys, don't you think? That's my thought on the whole process. So yeah, we kind of got one with Beelzemon, technically. Would you like to see your second question is, would you like to see a Ben 10 Omniverse Digimon crossover? That'd be cool. Maybe have, like, I don't know, like, how it would work. Like, maybe, I don't know if the Omnitrix could pick up data so Ben could become Digimon. Really don't know. But it'd be interesting. I don't know how exactly you could do it, but it'd be cool nonetheless. And your final question is, do you think Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2 could be a threat to Digimon? Have you seen some of the Digimon in the digital universe? I don't think he'll be much of a threat to the likes of, like, War Greymon or Devimon or Cherubimon. There are a few Digimon out there that'd be like, why is little blue fly trying to shock me? Squish. So yeah. Next question comes from Bradley Moto, who asks, who is your favorite Digimon? I've already answered that. It was Myotismon. Now going to Timori 0603. I'm really sorry if I butchered that name. First question is, who do you like best, Pokemon or Digimon? I already answered that question. I'm sorry. But like I said, I'm more of a Digimon a bit more. Second question is, who do you think they should have made another... Okay, do you think they should have made another season with Tamers, Season 3? Like I like that season the most. I think it would be cool if they did another season with Tamers, but I feel like, at the other hand, it was a very open-shut story. Open and closed story. But on the other hand, they did leave it at least open enough you could have done a third season. Maybe make Digimon a more global thing. Because again, it felt very enclosed with third season, with in Japan. Maybe give it more a global feel, like the other two seasons had. And I remember they did go a little global, but they did focus mostly in Japan. So yeah, I would have liked to. Yeah, I would have liked to see another season of Tamers. Now that I think about it. Okay, your third question is, do you think you will see the other seasons of Digimon you missed? Digimon Fusion is good. I don't know. I might give Digimon a Fusion a look. See, maybe a look. Maybe just a look. I am kind of curious every now and again of seeing it, but then something else comes along. Ninja Turtles, Steven Universe, Korra. Yeah, those things are kind of getting in my way. So thank you for those questions, and again, I'm sorry I butchered your name, but now moving on to Wolfman the Impaler, who asks, Alucard meets Myotismon, what happens? And yes, I kind of figured out, I know there was kind of a discussion on your page between a few people saying which Alucard. I kind of gathered that it was Alucard from Hellsing. So, Alucard meeting Myotismon. I think it would be interesting. Like, I think Alucard would kind of look at Myotismon and be like, "Really, I gave up the cape and mystique a long time ago. You're just trying to make it look cool." So I think he'd look at it and be like, "You're not really a real vampire. You're made of data and codes and stuff like that. You're not a real vampire, and you're trying to pass yourself." I think Alucard would get physically angry that this computer program is literally trying to pass itself off as a vampire. I think he would, honest to God, get angry about that and try to kill him. So yeah. How come there isn't more of a military response every time Digimon appear in the human world? Is it like Power Rangers, the military is more or less useless? I remember the military did try to do some fighting in Series 3, especially in the D-Reaper saga. But yeah, I feel like it is kind of useless. If the point's kind of moot. They're like, come on guys, if we can't beat Godzilla, how the hell are we going to beat this? Sorry, I had to get some water. So that's how I kind of see it. Maybe you hit the nail on the head right there. And your third question, out of the Digimon who look, oh my god, out of the Digimon who look like humans, which female would you look at and say, I'd hit that? Well, at least we're going out with the final question for the for the episode, for the segment is going to be an interesting one, I'll say that. Lilymon? Yeah, Lilymon. Ranamon and not Renamon, Ranamon from Series 4. Yeah, I know the names are very close. That's one right there. Angelomon? Here's another one. But definitely Lilymon's at the top. So anyway, glad we're going out on that note, but yeah, I want to thank everyone who asked questions, and once again, if I did not answer a question, that means that YouTube was being kind of a jerk. And also, please go back to the previous video, because I'm doing a Randy Cunningham 9th grade ninja Q&A session next. So you can go to my previous video and ask your 3 questions for the Randy Cunningham upcoming segment. So yeah. But once again, I want to thank everyone who sent me questions. Kind of stumbled through this, but yeah. This was not too long of a Q&A. Not as long as my Power Rangers. Well, almost as long as my Power Rangers one. But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, once again, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out.